MySQL introduction, no? Right? And we have stopped here yesterday. Yeah, good afternoon. Okay, just I'll give 2 minutes. If you have any doubts, you please let me know, so that we'll start, and we'll, so within the 2 minutes, let others also join.
Sir, doubt can be asked through chat, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing the chat window only, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, any doubts? And today we will see the important part of MySQL installation. Okay, fine. So yesterday we were discussing about these tools, MySQL tools, right? So now here we will use the community server here now in our scenario, because this is community server is a open source, and enterprise embedded server, these are like license versions are required. These are used if you are developing some applications, real-time applications, and for delivering to the customers, we may need to purchase the license based upon the requirement and weight of your application. And so these are the GUI tools. So of course, always working from the command prompt, that black screen, it is like it is boring and difficult sometimes for some people, because especially for the learners it will be very difficult, right? So that's the reason they have provided the GUI tools also. And now here we are going to install Workbench, MySQL Workbench, and we are going to work with MySQL from MySQL Workbench, right? And if you want to work from a command prompt, no issue, you can work, right? So number of ways we can connect with the MySQL server, and we can work either it from command prompt, or it can be from GUI tools provided by the MySQL, or it can be like a Visual Studio plugin also, because the Visual Studio is common, it is from Microsoft, it is common platform, so it supports many of the programming language database, right? And even you can work from the Oracle SQL developer also, right? So of course that also I'll show you how to connect from Oracle SQL developer also. And the drivers, so this is the important thing. So it is, they have provided the drivers for almost all the programming languages. So the programming language with which you are working, so you have to use the corresponding driver to connect with the MySQL, right? Now coming to the configuration of MySQL, so we'll have here two configurations. That means yes, server client technology, that means server client systems or embedded systems, right? So server client system means, see here, a system that consists of multi-threaded SQL server that supports different backends, several different client programs and libraries, administrative tools, and wide range of application programming interfaces, right? So that means if it is server client technology, your database MySQL will be maintained in the separate server. That server will be maintained by the server administrators. They will give different user access and different control over the entire database, right? And the client, that means whoever wants to use the database service, that means if I want to store my data, or if I want to retrieve my data, so I have to connect to the database server. Okay, so in that scenario I'll be called as a client, and the server is where the entire database is placed in, the server is installed, and all the administrative activities are taking place. Okay, so every time if I want to save the data, I have to go to server, I have to send my data to the server, and there it will be stored. And if you want to retrieve also, you have to do the same thing, right? So for simple understanding this, so I'll explain here. Just a minute. I'll open the Paint. So here separate server is maintained. Okay, right? So now this is user. Okay, this is user, and this is database server. Database server. And this is your web server or application server. Okay. So I'll send the request to the web server or application server. So here that will connect with the database. That means if this web server will take all the user requests are taken by the web server, and this web server, for example, if the user requests involves some data storage, then the web server will contact database server and the corresponding data will be stored here. And if the user request is to retrieve some data from the database, so then web server will take that request and it will fetch the corresponding data from the database, then it will be given to the user. So, and depending upon the size of the application, the database server and web server will be maintained separately. In some scenarios it will be maintained separately. In some scenarios, in the single server, both the features, both the web server as well as your database server will be placed. That depends upon the weight of your application. But here always the user will send the request to the server. Now we'll call this entire thing, we'll call it as a server. This thing we'll call it as a server, and this person, this user will call it as client. Okay, so whenever the user wants to access some information, he will send the request, right? Due to this client server concept, nowadays this internet is become very popular, and we can access the resources from anywhere in the world. Otherwise, what we have to do, if it is like a normal traditional system, that means if I want to use MS Word, so in that case I have to install MS Office in my computer system, so that in that MS Word feature is there, that I can use that, right? If that is the scenario for every application, so what will happen now? If I want to use the Google services, what I have to do? I have to purchase all the softwares, all the Google services. That means all the programs for the Google services, and those programs I have to install in my computer. Then only I can access them, right? So, but we are not doing like that nowadays, right? So now I'm accessing www.google.com. If I type, I'll get the Google page, but I don't have any software in my computer related to the Google. But still we are getting. How we are getting? Because due to this server client technology. The moment when you type, now generally what we will do here, we will open our web page, that is your web browser, and there we will type www.google.com, right? So www from Google, okay, google.com. Okay, so when you type this, and we have to that request will be sent to the server. That request is HTTP request. Okay, HTTP request will be sent to the server. In the server, the program in the server, what exactly server contains? Server will contain all the programs. What they did is, what the Google people did is, instead of giving the programs to each and every user who are going to use the Google services, they are keeping all the programs in one server, and any user can connect this particular server, and the server will take their request, and whatever the program they want to execute, that program will be executed here. That program will be executed in the server. It will be executed in the server, right? So once it is executed, what it will do? It will give response, right? It will give the result. That means the output of the corresponding program is there, that will be given back to client. Whoever wants to execute the corresponding program, whoever sends the request to the server, I want to execute so and so program. So that program is executed here. Once the program is executed, the result of that executed program will be given to the client, whoever the corresponding program is called, right? So that is called HTTP response. HTTP response. Okay, so HTTP response. So that means when the client wants to access some service, so you will send the request. Of course, generally we won't send any request. We will use the browser. There we will type it. So why we have to use the browser? If you open the notepad and type www.google.com, your HTTP request won't be generated, because the browser is the software that knows how to generate the request, how to send that request to the server, right? And the same software, that same browser software is used to read the server result and display in the user understandable format. That means it will be displayed in the graphics format. Okay, so actually the communication will be HTTP request, HTTP response, and all the pages, and from here to here. So for example, if I want to send, if I want to save some data, I'm entering some information, right? I'm filling some form, so that form will be sent along with the HTTP request. Along with the HTTP request, one more form along with the HTTP request, one form also sent. So that form contains all your data. Okay, so that means form means it is a document. One document is also sent along with the HTTP request. So that document will be given here. The document will be given here. Then the server will save this document in the web server. Okay, web server in the form of the corresponding database format. That means if you are using relational data RDBMS, so it will be showed in the form of tables. If you are using some MongoDB, it will be, or JSON, it will be showed in the form of corresponding documents, right? So that is the actual thing. Okay, so now here you can configure your MySQL server as a server client way, right? So that means you can, that depends upon the application, right? Now or you can configure, or we can configure it as embedded system. Embedded system means within the single system, now all these things are there. Now actually the execution will be like this, what we have discussed here, right? So what we have discussed here, it is like that. So if it is embedded means all the things, right? Now all the things, that means your user server, web server, or application server, and database server will be into the single system. Or you can have the multiple users also, right? That means, or you can have this particular part, right? So that means your application server and database server will be in one system. And if the user wants to give access to multiple clients, that means if he is running some hotel business, okay, and he want to update all the if he is having some 10 branches in the city, and if you want to monitor all the inputs, right? So all the business, so what he will do, he will maintain this application server and database server will be in one system, and in 10 places, 10 locations, he will keep one client, so that everything, and so for them he will give some login. So the moment when that corresponding location is open, outlet is open, they will log in and they will feed the data continuously, what is happening every minute. Okay, so everything will be updated here, right? Or if he is having only one location, he don't want to have the multiple users, only one user is there. That means only one location is there, he is having only one branch, one outlet. So in that case, so we will install that application server, a database server in the same system, and the same system he will use for giving the inputs also. So if that is the case, we will call it as embedded, right? And if it is multiple locations, He will install this application server and database server in one system, and in the 10 locations, he will keep the 10 systems. From the 10 systems, he will communicate with this particular application server and database server. Okay, so that depends upon the application and client requirement. Okay, so here what I mean to say is, here you can install MySQL as a server client, or it can be embedded in the same system also. Okay, so now, so this is the thing, right? So now let us go to the installation part. Okay, so installation part. For installing MySQL, installing MySQL community server, the first prerequisite is you have to install .NET 4.5.2. Okay, so that will be available here in this particular link. Okay, so this .NET you have to install. Of course, if you are using Windows 10, if you are using Windows 10, this .NET 4.5.2 is by default installed. Okay, so by default install. Now, let us go to here. Okay, so I'll copy and paste that particular link, right? So I'll show you. Do one thing, just a minute. I'll take the link here. I'm having some notepad, so for easiness we can use that. You can easily copy from the notepad. Okay, I'm copying and pasting here. Okay, so now first link, this is the first link. And if you don't have Windows 10 and if you don't have that .NET corresponding version 4.5.2, so then you can go to this particular link and download here. Click on download, it will be downloaded. Then you can install that, right? You can install that. Okay, it is downloaded. So now I'll show you, since in my computer it is already being installed. So when I try to install, it will tell that your .NET is updated something. It won't be installed again. So this is your first step. This is your first step. Just a minute. So I'll share that. Okay. See here, when I'm trying to install .NET, it is giving the error that your installation will not occur. See below for reason why. .NET 4.5.2 or later update already installed in your computer. So if you are using Windows 10, so mostly you will get this message. If you get this message, no need to install about .NET 4.5.2. Okay. So if your system not updated with the corresponding version of the .NET, and automatically it will come continue option here. You have to continue so that the corresponding version of .NET will be installed in your computer. So this is the prerequisite for installing MySQL, right? So once this is finished, and what you have to do is, once the .NET is finished, you have to install Visual C++ redistributable package 2015 to 19, right? And of course, if you don't, you can proceed the MySQL installation without installing this Visual C++ also. But in some cases, in some systems, right, you may get some problem while installing MySQL. Some of the components may not be installed in your system, because for some of the components of MySQL, it requires different versions of Visual C++, right? Some components will require Visual C++ 2015 version. Some components will require Visual C++ 2017 version, and some components will require Visual C++ 2019 version, right? To avoid all those issues, again, if those components are installed, not installed, means again you have to reinstall the C++, Visual C++, and continue the installation process for those components, right? So to avoid all these unnecessary headaches, what we have to do is, so it is advisable to install it is advisable to install this Visual C++ redistributable package 2015 to 19, right? So that you will get from this particular link, right? You can go and get that particular software and install, right? And Deepthi is asking if she is having some third-party server tools. So yes, if you are having the third-party server tools, there you will have the access to MySQL, all the database, whatever it may be, right? No need to install. That is up to you, because now here I want to show basically how we have to work with this particular thing. Because when we'll use the third-party servers, now if I'm developing the web applications, I want to host my I have developed one web page. So that page I want to host in server. So for that I need to have the third-party server tools, right? But here we are not doing the web applications, so I don't want to use those third-party servers now. So here we are doing only Python programming, and of course Python web development. That is, again, for that we are going to install that Django package, all those things. So we'll have the server. That is different scenario. But at this point of time, we are not developing any web pages, and we are not using any third-party servers, right? So now if I discuss the MySQL, working with MySQL with the third-party servers, so the people may get confused that, okay, for why we have to use the third-party servers like that, right? So that means we should understand the exact requirement of the third-party servers. Those things are required for hosting your applications. To see, generally, once the web page is developed, actually entire website is developed, means we will host in the corresponding domain, right? So but when it is a development stage, no one will purchase one domain, and no one will host their whatever the web page developed, and they'll host there and see, right? Before completing the entire website. So what we have to do, we will do our development, and we will host in our local server, and we'll check. So for that local server support, we will install that server tools, right? So now till now we are not done single web page development. So then there is no question of installing the third-party servers. Okay. So now I don't want to install the third-party servers. So okay, if you are already working with those servers, if you are having those servers in your system, then you can add the MySQL component. That's all. Okay, so that is fine, right? But my concentration is to the people who don't know how, like those servers also, like from the very basic level, right? So that's the reason I'm repeating all these installation steps also. Okay, so you can install that Visual C++ redistributable 2015-19 package, right? So once it is installed, then you can download the MySQL. Of course, for this again I'll show you this link also, right? So now what I'll do is I'll go to browser. I'll go to my web browser. Okay, I'll copy that link. So of course all these are already installed in my computer, so I am not going to install these things in my computer. So okay, the latest supported Visual C++ downloads will have the Visual Studio 2015, 17, 19. You can download for your particular architecture, 86, 64 or ARM architecture. You can download, right? Once it is downloaded, you just install. That installation is normal procedure only. You open the setup, run the setup file, and finish it, right? You follow the instructions, right? So once this is installed, then you are ready to install the MySQL in your computer. First step is .NET 4.5.2, right? Then second step is Visual C++ 2015, 17 and 19 package. Okay, then download the MySQL. For downloading the MySQL, you have to go to the mysql.com site. Okay, so the mysql.com, so you'll find the downloads. Click on the downloads, and here different versions are available. That means here different components are available: MySQL database, storage engines, connectors, replication, partitioning, router, shell, workbench, all these things. A lot of things are available. Okay, so then simply you can go to MySQL community downloads. Okay, so enterprise, all these are licensed versions. So this community downloads, it will be like free of cost, open source. So here in the community downloads, you will find one MySQL installer for Windows. Okay, just click on that. So it will ask, it will redirect to one page. So here it is Microsoft MySQL installer 8.0.20. Okay, 8.0.20, and here you will have two files. This Windows installer, MSI installer. So if you see the size, it is 24.4 MB. That means if you download this particular file, that is, it is online installer. That means it will download the software, and when you click on that, it will connect to the internet and download the file and install automatically. Okay, and the second option is, it is entire setup download to your computer. So this will download only the installer MySQL online installer. It will download, and we have to open that, and that MySQL online installer will connect to the MySQL site, and it will download the software and install at the same time. Okay, automatically, right? And this is traditional kind of installation. That means we are going to download our setup file into our computer, then we will install our software. So for this, once it is downloaded, for installation you don't require any internet connection. But for this, for installation also you require the internet connection. Why? Because this is only the online installer. This online installer will run, it will connect with the MySQL site, it will download, and parallelly it will install, right? So till completion of the installation, it requires internet connection. And if you want to install in another computer, again it will connect to the site, again it will download and install. Okay, but if you have this setup file already in your computer, you can copy it to another computer and you can install. Okay, so whichever is comfortable to you, so that file you can download and you can install. My advice is, so better to download this installer setup file and install in your computer, right? So download, if you click on download, it will ask for your login. So you have to log into your Oracle account. Okay, so if you don't have the Oracle account, you just sign up, and if you have the Oracle account, just click on that. Just click on that. So it will enter your username and password. So it will be logged in, and you will get the download now option, right? If you click on this, your file will be downloaded. So it is downloading here. Now already I'm having the file, so I don't want to download. Already I downloaded the file. Just to show, I want to show to you. That's the reason I did all these steps, right? So now I don't want, so I'm canceling this, right? So if you click on this, the file will be downloaded. It is of approximately 400 MB, 400 plus MB, right? Once it is downloaded, you go to the download folder. Okay, you go to downloaded folder and click on this is the file which is downloaded, MySQL installer community 8.0.19. Of course, I have downloaded maybe some 20-30 days back. That time it may be 0.919. Okay, so okay, now right click and click on install. Okay, right click and click on install. Hope everyone able to see this installation window. So it will ask for admin permission. You give the admin permission. Okay, so now this window will open. Your installer will open, right? Your installer will open, right? Now, so what you have to do is here you will get lot of options. Developer default. Okay, developer default. That means, so what are all the tools required for your development? For a developer, all the tools will be installed automatically. So server only. So that means server side components only will be installed. Client only means now mainly the server and the client is. So if the our customer wants to maintain a separate server, right? And actually this development means when we are developing, we may need to work with a lot of tools, right? So for that, if you select this default developer default, so what are all the MySQL tools are required from developer side, all those tools will be installed automatically. And here it is given list of tools required. Okay, it will install MySQL Server, MySQL Shell, MySQL Router, MySQL Workbench, MySQL for Excel, Visual Studio, MySQL for Visual Studio, MySQL connectors, .NET, Java, C++, ODBC, other connectors, examples, documentation, everything will be installed. And if you select the server, so only some components which are required to run MySQL in the server. In the server means, so there we are, no developer will be there, no developer will be sitting in front of the server and they are doing the program. Just it is the MySQL software will be installed in that server to run already developed MySQL applications, right? So it will install only MySQL server. And if you select the client and again the client, so these are the components it will be installed. Okay, so that means if the client wants to, he don't want to maintain the server, he want to use the same system as for daily use also. So say there it will install. We may need to install some of the components, right? And full installation means everything, complete MySQL, all the components will be installed. And custom means we will have the option to select the tools, what exactly you want to install. Okay. Right. So I'll select here custom and we'll proceed with the custom. So we will select our required things, right? Now if you click on next, you will get this window. Okay. And what component you have to select, some of the components. What components you have to select is here I have given. So right. So tools to be installed, right? You have to install latest MySQL server. You have to install MySQL Shell, MySQL Workbench, right? So this is for server, to start the server in your computer. MySQL Shell means, so if you want to work with your MySQL from your command prompt, the shell is required, right? For that we are installing the shell. And MySQL Workbench, so this is the GUI support. No, for me it is very difficult to work from command prompt. I want to have some GUI support. So for that you have to install Workbench. So we'll see both shell and how to execute from command prompt, how to execute from Workbench. Of course, the shell is also required for Workbench, because shell means actually the commands are going to execute, right? The place where your commands are going to execute, right? Every software will have their own shell. Okay. And MySQL connector for Java. So this why I'm installing, because we are not working with the Java, but still I'm installing Java because I told you to show you that that we can work on MySQL from the Oracle MySQL developer also. So to work from Oracle SQL Developer, we need to have the Java connector. Okay, and this is compulsory documentation and examples. Okay, right? So these are the tools we need to install. Okay, so now the same tools we'll select here. So MySQL Server, just click on expand this particular menu. So here MySQL Server 8.0 version, different versions are there. So now I want to install the latest version. Okay, select it and click on right arrow symbol. So now right arrow symbol turn to green, you select it. This component I want. Okay, okay, now my server is over. Okay, then applications. In applications, I want Workbench. So go to Workbench, click on plus symbol. That means expand and select the latest Workbench and click here, right? So it will be installed. That means this window is the components which we are going to install in our computer, right? Now I have selected Workbench also. And notifier, I don't require this. MySQL for Excel, I don't require because I'm not going to work with Excel. Visual Studio also not required. So on the utilities, also not required. MySQL shell is required, right? So click on MySQL, expand the MySQL shell, then select here. Okay. And remember here, and the type of architecture you are using, accordingly you have to select. Of course, you will get the list according to your compatibility only. Then MySQL router also I'll install. Okay. Okay. Then, so what we have discussed, server we have to install, shell we have to install, so Workbench we have to install, right? So server we have selected, Workbench we have selected, shell we have selected. Then go to connectors, MySQL connector. So connector for J, okay, Java connector, J means Java. Okay, if you want other connectors, you can try for that. Okay, C++ connector, Python connector, .NET, but Python connector will be installed only once the shell is installed in your computer, right? So if you try to select here now, it may give some error, so it won't be installed. If you select also, it won't be installed. Okay, so of course no need to install the connectors also, because in for Python we will have the module, right? With that module we'll install the module in the Python, and with that module we can directly connect with the MySQL. No need to worry about it. Okay, so right, connectors are over. Then select the documentation. Always you select the top item, right? So that will be the latest one, and samples and examples. Okay, fine. Now all the components selected. Server I have selected, Workbench selected, shell, router. Of course, router is not required, but I want to work with some other things. That's the reason I selected here. So Java and MySQL documentation, sample, examples. Okay. So then click on next. And these are the components which we are going to install in our computer for MySQL. Okay. Click on execute. So all are ready to install, right? And you click on execute. All will download automatically. That means this internal will download those components and it will install the things. Okay. And if you get any error, for example, some of the tool, when some of the tool is not downloaded, when not installed, that means if you see here show details, so you'll get the current corresponding status, what exactly the process is going on, right? For example, some MySQL server is not installed. Why it is not installed? The message will appear here. So on, so Visual C++ distribution is not available, 2015 version is not available. Then you go and install the corresponding prerequisite and continue the installation. Okay, so that's the reason, for the safe side, I have shown that I told you that we have to install that Visual C++ distributions also for 2015, 17, 19. If you install those three versions, right, then maximum 99% you won't get any problem in your MySQL installation. If you don't install those things now, so definitely for now some so and so components, some 5-6 components we have selected now, some 2 components would have installed without any problem. Remaining 4 components we may get error, right? so that we have to see the message here and go to site, download that corresponding compatible software, install, then we have to proceed this, right? So it is, that's the reason we just keep in mind that first install .NET 4.5.2, right? If it is Windows 10, automatically it will come that version, or higher to that version it will be in your computer. Then second thing is install Visual C++ distributions 2015, 17, 19. Then proceed for MySQL installation. Okay, now it is getting installed. So once it is installed, we have to configure the server, right? So that I'll show you. Actually, that MySQL is already installed in my computer, but for demonstration purpose, now all the things I have uninstalled today morning. Because this is a little bit different, installation procedure is different, like not like other installations. And other installation, the normal Windows installation, what will happen, we will launch the exe file, setup file, then we'll accept the conditions, then we click on next, next, and finish. That's all. Okay, here we have to select the components and set up the configure the password, root password, all those things are there. So this entire installation process will take some 15 to 20 minutes. I hope we can finish before 3 o'clock. And if you, so it is continuing, and if you have any doubts, you just let me know. You can ask parallelly. Hope everyone able to see this installation window. Okay. And if you are having any third-party server already in your computer, if you are working with any web development, you can use those servers. Like somebody has told, no, Deepti Pandey is already working with some server, that is XAMPP server. So you can use that. Deepti, you can use that. And this is nothing but standalone MySQL server. What we are doing is, it is standalone MySQL server. What stopped again? Hope everyone able to see this setup window. Bhavana is telling some it is stopped again, sir. No, sir, it is going. It is going. Second installation. My PC. Okay. Right. So it will take some 2-3 minutes. So only this will take more time. Remaining components will install very quickly. Bhavana is telling, sir, Visual Studio can't install. How you can install it? Yeah, you can install Visual Studio. Because if you have installed some of the other version, you may get some problem. You just download the file. I have given the link now. So from there you can download the Visual C++ distribution package. Then you click on that. But already if some version is already available, then higher version than that is available in your system, then it will give some message that already higher version is available. Otherwise it will proceed. So when you're trying and it is stopping, means maybe you might have downloaded different file. Right now, for example, if you are using some not 64-bit OS, all those things, if you download a 32-bit file, and if means if your OS is 64-bit and if you are installing 32-bit, it won't take sometimes. Now Amit Kumar is asking whether MySQL is new topic, sir. No, actually, hey, we are continuing Python only, but from my Python, because when I'm developing, yesterday we have discussed, na. So when I'm developing some application, so in that I may need to store the data separately, right? So in all our previous program, while executing the program, I have given the data and we have got the results also. But the data will not be stored anywhere, right? So, but I want to develop the application where my data also should be stored in some place in my computer or in my this thing. When I have developed one program, for that program, whatever the data I'm giving, that data should be stored in the some storage, right? So for that, we need to have the support of database, right? So for that database, this is the MySQL is one of the popular database. So that I'm installing now. Once it is installed, we will store our data in this MySQL from our Python program, right? Whatever the data we are giving to the Python program, that gets stored in the MySQL, and whenever you want, you can retrieve also. And if you want to change, update, delete, whatever the thing you want, you can do that. So that means the application will become complete if you have the database support also. Right now, all these days we have discussed the programming concepts only, right? But for developing the application, we require the database support also. So for that, we are discussing this MySQL and how to install this MySQL, how to configure this MySQL, and how to connect it from the Python programming language. All those things we will see. So it is 50% only. Remaining 4 components will install quickly. But only this shell only, it will take time. So any problem? It is going on. So it is moving very slow, 51 only. So we have another 11 minutes. Yes, Bhavana, if you have multiple servers in your system, definitely it will become very slow. So Trupti madam, you want PPT? Okay. You can uninstall that servers with the installers, or by going to the control panel also you can uninstall. But if you use like that installer window of that particular software, then you can easily uninstall. Otherwise, from control panel you have to uninstall each and every component. For that you should know which is belongs to this particular server, like that. I think it is moving little fast. Sir, from Nimi, sir, if possible, can I take 5 minutes extra, please?
Sir, next class is already scheduled, sir, actually.
5 minutes?
Not possible, sir, actually.
Because the installation will stop in between. That's the reason I'm asking.
Okay, actually, sir, if
I'll
you
try to
take
finish
5
before
minutes,
3.
the other presenter will be deprived, sir.
Okay, so I'll try to finish by 3 o'clock.
Right,
But
sir.
if it is not done, just 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. That's all. No, Amit, actually this is Python class only. For Python, we are going to work with MySQL from Python. That's the reason I'm installing this MySQL. Right? Don't confuse. There is no separate class at 2 o'clock MySQL, 4 o'clock Python. Not like that. So Python, MySQL I'm covering for Python only. Here I'm not going to teach each and everything about MySQL. Just whatever required to work from Python, that only I'm going to teach here about MySQL. Yes, it is. Shell is completed. So connector is installed. Documentation. Okay. Now it is already all are completed. Click on next. Click on next. Right. So then all the things are ready to configure. Okay. You just click on next. So then it will ask standalone MySQL server. Yes. So that means I want standalone MySQL server or cluster. Of course, all those things we don't want. We want simple thing. So whatever the option is there, let it be. Don't change that option. Click on next, and it will ask for different configurations. Like whether you want for a development computer. Development computer means if the developer is using the MySQL. See, like we are practicing now, we are developing some application now. So in the same computer, we'll have the database. We'll have our own programming languages tools, right? So that is development option. And server computer means if I want to install in separate computer and I want to communicate with that particular computer whenever I want to use the database service. So that is server configuration, dedicated computer, right? So this is for database is separate, web development or application development is separate. So now I'm going with development computer. Okay, the remaining things you don't change, this port, all those things, let it be default. Click on this, then use strong password encryption for authentication. That means for logging into the MySQL, your database, use the password. Yes. So you give the password, right? So your password should contain your password must be alphanumeric, right? So I'm giving Raju Kannam 123. Okay. And remember, when you are giving this password, you should note down somewhere, right? Otherwise, you will get. If you forget this, now again you cannot log in into the MySQL. And here it is medium. Of course, I'm developing for practice only. I'm not going secure the database. So that's the reason. No need to worry. Okay. Click on next, and you can give the name by default. This is server. That means server name in your computer, Windows service will run with this particular name, right? So okay, I want to give the service name as MySQL 7337. Okay, so that means you can check whether your server is started or not by going to the process taskbar, right? Click on next. So then click on execute. Then click on execute. All the components will be installed. Okay, so all the components will be installed. Then you can click. Next task is only click on next. If you get next, you click on next. If you get execute, you click on execute. Right. So the process will finish. So this next you have to continue till you get the finish. Okay. Now all the main thing is here selecting the components, that is over, and the second thing is setting the root password, that is also finished. Okay, and the remaining just click on the next, it will proceed automatically. Okay, so it will install MySQL in your computer. So this will take some time. It is giving the message may take long time. So now if you get any now all of you please finish the installation process, and if you get any error we will I'll tell you, or just send me the WhatsApp message, so that I'll that error message what you got, you just send the WhatsApp message to me. I'll try to guide you. And Monday we will start working on this, right? Monday. So this is from MySQL installation, and similarly we have to install the corresponding module in the MySQL Python, so that we'll see. So if it is clear to all of you till this point, then it is fine. Okay, again Monday okay, finish, right? So finish it. So now you can see here, okay, this MySQL server is configured. Then MySQL router you have to configure, samples, and these are things also you have to configure. So for router and all, of course, for router we don't require, just give finish. Then for samples and this thing also, just give the root password. What is the root password? You give the password, you should give here. Okay, then check it, so it will verify yes, correct. Then click on next, execute. So it will finish your execution. Okay, running scripts, all the documents and examples, it will be copied, right? So this will finish your MySQL installation. And if you have any doubts, you just send me the WhatsApp message. Okay, and Monday 4 to 5, maybe Monday 4 to 5 we'll make it, and Monday we'll continue the session. Today all of you please install and please be ready with the MySQL.
Sir, we have only 1 minute remaining, sir.
Yes, sir. I hope it will be finished in 1 minute. Okay. So once this is over, you will get finish option here that you have to click. Now nothing is there. So now we are running, right? Finish. Okay. So then click on next. Okay, finish. Right. So this start MySQL server, workbench, all this I don't want to start. I'll start afterwards in the next class. In the next session I will start. So then finish it. Okay. Thank you everyone. We'll meet on Monday and we'll finish it. Thank you, sir.